Welcome to the Morningstar series, 3 Stock Picks. I'm Holly Black. With me today is Dan Nickols. He's the manager of the Merian UK Smaller Companies Fund. Hello.
Hi.
So you're going to tell us about a few stocks in the portfolio that you're quite excited about at the moment. Where are we going to start?
Okay. Well, I think the first one I'd like to talk about is a business called Clinigen. So this is a well-established business. It's been floated in the UK for around 5 to 6 years already. It's actually 1.4 billion market cap. So it's, I suppose, at the bigger end of my spectrum. But what does it do? It's a specialist distributor of drugs, essentially. It really has 2 or 3 quite differentiated operations as well. So one of the things it does is to supply drugs into clinical trials, and that's a rare skill, so that's something that they do very well. They also, on behalf of major pharmaceutical businesses, will distribute drugs both in the early stage of the registration process and towards the end of their life cycle as well. And again, that's something they do on a global basis. And then finally, selectively, they'll actually buy the rights to certain drugs and reinvigorate them through, more effective marketing or by getting further authorizations for them as well. But what this builds up to is a business that actually, I think, benefits from some quite powerful structural dynamics. And again, clinical trials and the like are very much on the rise on a global basis. But yeah, again, in terms of as a share, I think it's very attractively valued.
Cool. So where are we going next?
UK telecoms is dominated by incumbent providers. Gamma Communications have developed some quite novel leading edge services that use things like IP telephony and cloud delivery of telephony services. And quite simply, they're growing market share, admittedly from quite a low base, but they're growing market share very rapidly. And again, it's one of the typical things we like to find in smaller companies, businesses that can grow share quickly.
Supplying businesses or households?
Yeah, sorry, good question. So businesses, yeah. So, the key attraction, if you think about, an office, historically you would have bought a bit of exchange kit to enable you to receive incoming calls and then distribute them around the office to the relevant person. Now, that's all really done by what's called Internet Protocol. So it'll basically just be an activity that takes place essentially online. All the bits of information are packaged up and represented as a sort of voice call. So the beauty of it is that it's much lower cost to operate. It gives much greater flexibility to the actual user as well. And then if we actually look at the financial performance of the business, it's grown extremely well since the point of flotation. But again, we can see many, many years of really good rates of growth coming through. And for me, this is a real cornerstone of the portfolio.
And what's the final stock you're going to tell us about today? Okay,
so the final one, a bit different, is Oxford Instruments. So this is a well-established business. It's 700 million market cap. And in fact, I think if you go back in history, it was the first spin-out from Oxford University. What does it do? Well, it provides, the clues in the name, it provides scientific instruments for academic and commercial research. As an investment, one of the other things it should benefit from is quite a large dollop of self-help. So it's a business which generates margins of about 15%. For the sort of business it is, it should be doing better. And I think even the management team would concede that they should be doing better. And again, there are lots of internal initiatives to improve margins going forward. So that feels like a really nice package in terms of business that can deliver forecast upgrade and re-rating too.
Super. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us.